And there we are, there we are, there we are. What's up, everybody? 9 o'clock hits and heels, and welcome,
Welcome.
welcome. So please forgive us because we just got done with the game,
Is that what? Oh,
and I'm trying to get my energy up for for this podcast because I'm so excited for the guests that we have on.
well. The thing about the guests that's coming on is, very good friends. Outstanding. I'm excited.
Yes,
And I appreciate them coming on for one good reason, because I've been talking to them about this for a few months. Then we had the gala came on the Lay Shaw,
mhm.
and I really mean that. I appreciated 110% of both guests that's coming on, and big topics. But
This is big time today.
okay, before they come on, the University of Kentucky's got a bye, and next week they play Texas. So how do you think everything that's taking place? We'll get to that point, and then we'll move on.
Look at my face.
Okay, 30 seconds. Come on, really?
Look at my face.
Really?
Okay, so what do you want me to say? You want me to say, "Ooh, we gon' show up,
I know I say all that.
and show out"?
Show up,
We
show
can't
out.
wait till Texas come in.
All right,
Yeah,
Texas
no.
comes in, and Kentucky. And the best thing that's going on right now?
What's that?
Baseball.
Why? What is that? The best thing going on?
It's the number one sport about.
Oh, y'all come get y'all boy.
Yeah, that's the number one sport about.
Y'all come
But,
get your boy.
but anyway, I'm just saying. I mean, you got my LA Blue, you got the Yankees in, you got Blue Jay, you got a whole lot of stuff going on right now. Hockey started yesterday. Hockey started.
Hockey.
Hockey.
Okay.
I'm saying those are real men. We needed those tonight.
We need those tonight. Okay, I need to get to our guests. So let me tell y'all about our guests. First of all, they're well, y'all see this right here. So they're both Kentucky alumni.
Lums.
They have two absolute fantastic sons who we call our nephews, right? So y'all know how we always got nephews. So my first nephew is Devin, who you coached at in high school,
I
right?
coached in high school, made me look good as a defensive back coach. He used to come up to the sideline and he would say, "Coach, that's not going to work. We got to do this." But the way he did it is the upbringing of his parents. He was always respectful, and he was
was raised
unbelievable.
well.
And he worked out at 5:30 or something like that. I guess our guests, when we say their names, will clarify that it was early. He would get his workout in, and outstanding, and they're doing very well right now in the NFL.
Good stuff. And then our other nephew, which is one of Ty's best friends.
One of Ty's best friends. Oh, please. Hey, all I remember is somebody was talking to Ty. He said, "I'm talking to my boy." He stepped right in between both of them and was like, "Hey, excuse me. I'm right here with my boy, Ty P." So Ty B is doing his thing, and this young man is doing his thing. End up leaving Lexington, but he is doing his thing, the best thing, and he's that smooth. He's that smooth.
Well, we're not gonna hold them up. We're gonna go ahead.
Let the people know.
We're gonna go ahead and bring on Donte and Nicole Key.
The Key family.
The Key family.
Yes, yes.
And welcome to Hits and Heels.
Welcome to Hits and Heels.
We're so glad y'all are here.
I remember, the greatest thing. I really mean this, and I'm so happy. Thank y'all for coming on. God, I got to be living a dream right now.
Definitely.
That was a cue.
Why'd you do
Nobody ain't been in radio in a while.
No, she always says I take over conversations, so I'm letting her talk. You know?
Okay.
Hey, D Key, we're right here on that one.
Hey, then she don't want to take the cue.
Yeah. I throw it out there.
You were gonna do it.
For everybody to know, Donte, I call him DK. So when I say that, that's what I'm speaking of. And Nicole, hey, again, thank y'all for coming on my baby show, Hits and Heels.
Okay. I don't know.
I'll come up with it.
Where I want to start is Donte, you played at UK. Tell us about your experience at UK. Because
Wow.
isn't that where y'all met in college? Yeah,
Yeah.
tell us about it.
I heard that you just hounded her and kept calling her. That's what I heard.
That
It's
ain't
the
what you
rumor.
heard.
So you can clarify that. Baby, please. That's what I
You
changes the
want
narrative.
her version or the actual real version?
I want to hear her version. That's probably the actual real version.
Okay. I was still in high school when I
Oh
met
my
her.
Lord. When
So-
we met, yes.
Ooh.
So she was cougaring before cougar was
No.
popular.
Hold up. Let me get my cup and let me do Johnny Carson. I did not know that.
Because it's not true.
That's a good one. No, so I was in high school and I came up. One of my boys, and you may know him, Daryl Kahn. He was a recruit up here, and he was a year in front of me. So he came up, and I came up with him on his recruiting visit. So we was at an after hours joint, which I was still probably 16 at that time because I came up here at 17 as a senior.
No, you were
Whoa, keep the an after hour joint means, and then you threw 16 in. Don't mention that after hour joint because ABC will go to that place and close it.
Bro, I was 17 when I graduated, so it had to be a year after I graduated.
That place
Right.
is closed now.
Yeah.
It don't matter.
That's probably why.
So please go ahead.
And so that's when I think I originally met her.
Mhm.
And then when I came back here, I met her again, which I don't know. I guess it was supposed to be or something, but
There you go.
Then again,
yeah. Then I
a
was
year
walking.
later,
Then I was walking. I was a student at Kentucky, and was walking across campus, and just for giggles, I yelled at this chick across campus because I'm a football player. I'm trying to yell at everything, right? And it was her again. I'm like, oh, what the heck? And I hit her with the line, hey, don't I know you? It turns out, yeah, I did know her, really.
Okay.
So it just took from there.
no, it was a year later again. And you were out with John Collins.
Yeah.
Wow.
We was downtown at the nightclub,
It
right?
was the U Club.
141.
Yeah,
No,
141.
that was even like that was again. But anyway, the point
It was when it was the real club,
we
real
kept running
141.
into each other. So it was like, well, shit. Now I guess we just gotta see what happens. And then now, 30 years later, here we are.
Here we are.
There
And
you
I
go.
love it. I love it. Okay, and so then you have the two boys. At what age did you recognize that they were going to fall in your footsteps?
Okay, before you
Or do
say
you want-
that,
Or do you want to talk about him?
no.
I know Mr. Brown want to talk about
Okay, wait.
the
give me a
game you
second.
had at arch rival Louisville when you had two recoveries on
Okay,
turnovers.
no, we'll go to that. But let me say when I had to step in, I'm officiating the game, and I felt like this coach, I'm not gonna say his name, Donte Key, was holding this kid back. So I'm right. I'm in the game, I'm officiating, and I'm like, and I got my whistle in my mouth, and I go, give your son the ball.
Oh, you coaching?
Am I right?
Yeah, I was coaching. But we had some dogs on that team, man. I mean, I had,
I think you was holding those key
Look,
kids.
I had Mason Allstat,
Yes, you did.
Devontae Robinson.
Yes,
I
you
had
did.
Roman James.
Yes, you did.
I
But
had
you also had
God rest his soul,
Devin
Joe
and
Buford.
Dane Key.
And I had to spread the love around. I mean,
Well, you know
I made that team play. We played a lot of football when they were young, man. And they were just hungry to play football, and they loved it.
Yes.
We was the original Ravens,
Yes, you were.
and that team went 20-0, win the Rocky Top, came back and won a tournament in Louisville. We won the tournament in Louisville one day, and then came back and played the last game here at Parks and Rec.
Yeah. And that was a game that, again, another game I'm officiating. And all of a sudden I look over there and I'm looking at these shirts, and I went, hold up. And I walked over to D Key and I go, why does your shirt say undefeated season champions?
Back to back.
Back-
He said back to back on them. Yeah, I was so confident in that team. Those kids were just awesome, man. And so we were playing the Wildcats, who were perennial, real tough kids over at Short.
Very good team. Very good
Very
team.
good team. They had the Shelby kid on there who was outstanding in
They had
everything.
a lot of good players. Yes.
Yeah, and but I it was close in that first quarter, and then that third quarter came, and my kids just went crazy, and so I'd already had the shirts printed up. And they said back-to-back city champs.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. And my point of it is, I'm sorry, baby. My point of it is, with that said, is I started rolling. And because I saw the shirts and I walked over to you because our relationship that we have, I said, very blessed to coach your son. And I went, you already made up shirts and said back to that. He goes, B. We got this. Am I right?
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. I think it's so funny. Stacy, we got people coming on already.
Okay.
Stacy, okay, what's up with the technology? Good evening, Stacy. Thanks for coming on. And Ozon said Dane still should have went to Michigan. LOL.
He would have a national championship under his belt too.
Yeah, at least, right? So Mr. Brown said, can you speak on the great game you had at arch rival Louisville when you had 2 recoveries on turnovers?
Yeah, good question.
Good question.
That was game 1. And people don't know that during that whole week, I was injured on a Tuesday practice, so I wasn't supposed to play.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just, they gave me treatment, Tom, and
who's still there?
not Kalinowski. It was Al Green.
I'll feel you.
His wife.
This one does me like that. This was
Al Green and his wife, they were the trainers back then. And
Yeah.
they just treated that ankle, man. And I felt good enough to play and was fortunate enough to make a couple plays during that time. And I guess it's not the only play I made during my career, but it was one of the biggest.
It was major. It's major. And again, everybody that's tuning in right now, this is Donte Key and Nicole Key, Devin and Dane Key's parents. That's very nice to join us here on Hits and Hills.
Okay, so let's go back to your career at Kentucky. What made you choose Kentucky? Where else were you recruited? But what made you choose Kentucky?
Wow.
But it's
You
a
get
good
me on
choice.
somebody else's recruit visit.
But no, God, that is her. Hey,
Good answer.
Good choice, because the person to your right is the key, if you will. No pun intended. Okay, go ahead.
So I was considered UCLA, Tennessee, and of course the Kentucky schools. I was recruited by Coach Terri Donahue out in UCLA, but I figured out real quick that was a long way away, and that just couldn't happen. And Tennessee was in the mix because I'm actually from Tennessee.
Yes,
from Portland, Tennessee. That's where I was born. And but Kentucky, I came up here. It's ironic because the jailer in Franklin, Simpson County, Kentucky, he was a big UK guy, James Mooneyhan, and he was kind of my mentor. He's passed away now, and he was a big UK fan, and he brought me to UK games during the time that I was being recruited here, and so we were walking back to the car in the parking lot. And this voice yells out, "Donte, come to UK." And I'm like, who the heck is that? And how they know my name? Just walk. So that kind of stuck in my mind, and just knew that those fans here were just fanatical and wanted a good football program. and we still to this day trying to give him one.
Wow. Good statement. Good statement.
I mean, still trying. Trying. Okay, so you guys get married. You guys have these two absolutely cute little boys,
Oh my God.
and then you start coaching them. So when did y'all figure out they both were just special?
Without you holding them back.
I'll tell you, Devin's the first. So, I started coaching before either one of them were born, right?
Yes.
The Constitution Patriots. I had some really great kids over there in that Bryant Station area. And that was my first kind of coaching experience leading a team. And then I went to LCA before they were a very good program as they are now. We was playing like their first year of varsity football. And Devin would be on the field with me, and I could tell that he really enjoyed being out there and doing things.
Was he 4?
He was probably 4.
And
4
he
years
had
old.
his own playbook.
Yeah.
He was making his own playbook for the team.
He was making his own playbook at 4.
Left with a football. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's kind of the first introduction to Devin. But Dane, I didn't think Dane was going to be a football player.
Mm-mm.
I thought he was going to be a baseball player. And I know you like that, Coach B.
You know I do.
But he was always awesome on the baseball field. He loved
slept
it
with a bat.
Yeah, I mean, you can hear some stories around town when he'd be at Dane's, like baseball games, and he'd be down the other field with bigger kids fighting, hitting people with bats. And one funny story about Dane is, we live here, and her brother lived down the street from us. So she was taking him down there in a wagon, and he carried that bat everywhere he goes. So he just jumps out of the wagon and rears back and hits her brother with that bat for no reason.
Well,
Everybody, he'd hit you with the bat before he'd speak to you.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about it is their personalities, from my perspective, and Nicole, you can answer this one. Their personality was totally different from each other, from my perspective. And Devin was more. He was Kumo D. He was always chilled. Dane will tell you about yourself.
Exactly.
Am I accurate on that?
Whether you wanted to hear it or not.
He would tell you about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that I learned is those are the same last name, the same blood with Nicole and Donte Key, but they were totally different personality. If Nicole, you want to respond on that?
Oh, definitely. Well, I don't need to respond. You hit it dead on. Devin's more reserved, and Dane will say the first thing that pops in his head. Yeah, that was something I said 100 times as he was going through school. Say it in your head, not out loud. It was nonstop. Well,
Yes.
Ty and Dane have been together since kindergarten.
Yeah.
Since kindergarten. When I love telling the story when somebody did something to one of their little 5-buddy group, and all 5 of them was going to beat that kid up, and I get a phone call at school going, "What?" And then I go to Ty, and because you with Dane, and I go to Ty. I said, "No, they ain't gonna come in our boys like that." I said, "Ty, come on, man." So
I found it, you're talking about how different they are. And
yes,
one of the things that they both have that are very similar is how can I say it? Oh man.
take your time.
They hate to lose more than they like winning.
Oh my God.
Point.
How do you coach that?
Well,
You
how
can't.
do you?
How do you teach that?
Yes.
You can't. I don't know if, because all my brothers are fairly athletic. Her brother is, a military Green Beret guy, and just, he's a fanatic, a military Green Beret guy. He just
That's big.
Green Beret.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
dang.
ain't no
Oh, yeah.
jokey.
That ain't no
And,
joke.
I think I like to say that they just got a lot of stuff from all of our people. You know what I mean? And Dane, I didn't even know that he would have friends when he grew up.
Oh, we didn't think he would. I don't know how Ty stuck with him all this time.
Well, here's the thing. I can
That's
throw.
my baby.
No, I can throw this in there on Dane and Ty. They had loyalty to each other.
Oh, still do.
Yeah, and to this day. And what I mean is, and people got to understand this that's listening, even if you don't time in, we get a lot of people that listens to our show. But with that said, is the thing about Dane that I always talked about is his competitiveness. And he was a little bit different because Devin was a quiet storm. Now he was very damaging. What is actually
He's
worse?
got the same competitiveness.
Yes. What is worse? A
similar.
quiet storm coming in. You think you're going? I never forget that year here in Lexington when we were supposed to get 1 inch of snow and we got foot of snow, and that's Dane. I mean, that's Devin. I mean, excuse me, because that's his personality.
Yeah.
But Dane would say, "I'm coming," and then nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, and that's why I didn't know that he'd have friends, because if there was a situation where you were supposed to do your job and you didn't, he's the one that's going to let you know, hey, you ain't doing your damn job. Let's get it done. Okay. And Devin be more like, hey man, we got to get this, fix this. And if
he did it on the low though. He made his point.
If you need some help, I'll help you.
I got you.
But Dane's gonna tell you, no, you do your job so I can do mine and he can do his.
Right.
I love it.
Right.
We don't have kids like that anymore. Okay, so let me ask this. What's one thing you wish every sports parent knew before starting this journey?
Oh man.
Ooh.
One
she
thing?
went deep.
What journey are you speaking of though?
Just this whole sports journey of raising kids that are in sports.
I mean, you got to understand the honor of this. There's not too many parents that's been very blessed to have one in the NFL, one that will be blessed in D1 college.
Y'all can have 2 NFL.
And I mean that, and that's the journey, because it had to be,
but it started when they were 4 or they were on the field. Like even before that, if you can go back.
Well, they actually started. They actually started before he started holding them back. So I'm gonna throw that in again. He did hold them back. He held them back.
Every sports parent knew before they started this journey, because it's not for the weak.
No, it's not.
No.
Like
it's so different.
Have a level of intestinal fortitude, or we have to have a level of intestinal fortitude for our kids to get to this level, right?
Yeah.
So
what's the blueprint?
What's the blueprint? And what do you wish you knew before?
That's a 2-part question.
I don't think there's a blueprint. I think because every kid is so different. Devin's journey is way different from Dane's.
Okay.
So we had to go with Devin's journey a little different than we've had to go with Dane's journey.
Okay.
Dane was a highly recruited guy. Devin was recruited heavy, but not by the major schools.
Okay.
And let me say this before you finish. He ended up going to Western Kentucky in Bowling Green, Kentucky. I'm sorry, where the Bowling Green High Purples are. And then he is still the all-time leading tackle of Western history, right? Okay, I was going to make sure I want to put that out there. So he wasn't your average bear, but some reason he wasn't getting recruited.
So one of the things is you gotta let your kids run their own race and let their journey be their journey, and try to the best way that you can not let them get distracted by somebody else's journey, and let them have their own journey. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because every kid thinks, oh, I'm the greatest, and some parents think, oh, he's the greatest, but he may not. He may be the greatest in your mind, but you got to look at how other people look at him. You know, when Devin was getting all the accolades he needed. And when he went to Western, I think that was the best thing for him because it taught him how to grind a little bit more to show, to prove to himself,
that yes.
Well, because one of the biggest thing is when you and I was coaching at Bryant Station together, you was coaching linebackers, I coaching DBs, that I didn't think he would be at Bowling Green, Kentucky. I thought he would be somewhere in Ohio because mostly every y'all's visit was the Ohio teams. So how do you end up at Western?
Jeff Braun.
Okay.
He's still one of the best people. And Mike, what was Mike's name?
Cassidy.
Mike Cassidy. That was his secondary. Right. And then Jamie.
And Mike still keeps track of.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
And they talked about how, it's just they really invested in him, and they wanted him. Okay. And that's what I would tell parents is make sure your kid goes somewhere where they are wanted, not just because they want to go somewhere. Go somewhere where you're wanted, regardless if it's D2, D3, FCS.
And people in the back.
Hey, I'm timing off my wife. Say it again for the people in the back.
They gotta go where they're wanted. A lot of these kids, you've seen some kids, that we've seen come up, go somewhere where they like, oh, we'll take you, and then they just don't blossom into what they can be.
When they could have in another school.
Yeah.
And they could have went someplace else where they might have been a little bit more appreciated, or where, like you said, where they were wanted. So what is a big misconception of the recruiting process that parents don't know about?
Wow. That's a good question.
We needed these questions in advance. We need time to give this.
Let me say this. Let me say this. Our questions are not wrote down. They come off the top of our head.
I don't have a script.
We never have a script. Nothing we say. If I write something down, it's based on what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's nothing down on like this is my piece of paper. There's nothing on it.
That's because you can't write.
Close your eyes. See, that's what I said, right? That's what I said. Hey, again, ladies and gentlemen.
What you say? What is the script misconception of the recruiting?
Like,
right?
What is a misconception? Like, I think a lot of people feel like they have an idea about what the recruiting process is, right? But what is the real reality of the recruiting process? That a lot of people, unless you're going through the process, you wouldn't know that this is the.
But let me follow up on this, sweetheart. Yeah, you've been through it twice. And it ain't like you've been through it back-to-back years. You went through it, and then you went through it 3 to 4 years later. So y'all are. I used the word before, guys. Y'all are the blueprint.
Y'all are the blueprint.
Y'all are.
I don't think y'all
because you understand.
I just think we've been fortunate through God, man, to have the situations that we have. But the misconception is, I don't think some people understand how teams and colleges recruit parents. Also, they're recruiting the kids because of their athletic ability, but the way their parents act and the things that they do in the stands and the things that they say, college coaches are like, nah, I'm gonna back off of that. And kids' grades. When these college coaches are telling them your grades matter, they matter.
And their behavior matters.
Oh, for sure. How you treat the lunch lady? How do you treat, the custodian that's in your building? Do you think you're better than him? Do you pick up after yourself?
Yes.
You know, all those things matter. Those hidden gems is what some of the college coaches talk about. You know, those things that are hidden that not a lot of people see, but when you're recruiting some kid and you're now going to give them tons of money, all those things matter.
They matter. Let me throw this out there. This DK, you hit it right on the nose. I'll never forget. Ty was a junior at Frederick Douglass High School, and Western Kentucky was there. I was standing there. The gentleman at Weston's college didn't know who I was, and then all of a sudden, because I've been on their campus, then he said my name, and I said yes, and he was there looking at a kid for Frederick Douglass. And then all of a sudden he goes, Coach, it's very nice meeting you. Very nice to get to know you. And he said my name. And I said, you're welcome. I said, where are you going? He said, I'm not going to offer him a scholarship. Because a play happened and the kid threw his helmet. He threw his helmet. You know, nobody really saw it unless you was really looking at him. But he's about to recruit him. And you said it best. Everything matters.
Everything matters.
Everything matters. And he said, you know, he goes, Cisco, you know, Coach Bryant, when you get in bowling game, please stop by our campus. We know who you are. We've heard of you. And I said, thank you. And he goes, I said, where are you going? He said, we're not going to offer him. Because he was going to bring negative to their campus. And people and parents, players don't realize that. They're watching everything you do.
And they got to understand that this is a livelihood for these coaches. They got to bring in people who understand the discipline and the sacrifices and the commitment that it takes in order to be a college football player, period, wherever you're at.
Yeah.
It takes all those things. And one of the things that I'm very proud about is that happens at Douglass. And I'm not going to I'm going to promote Douglass High School football
myself as well,
because it happens there. You know, here's a prime example. We had a kid who was probably the best kid on our team. This is when Coach Landis was there, and
I know
he was the best player on our team.
He's the best player, one of the best in the state.
Coach Landis kicked him out, told him go home because of, you know, his attitude or what have you. And people were like, oh, snaps. If he does this to our best player, imagine what he'll do to me. But we reconciled that whole situation, and he went on to be a great player, but it was the standard. You know, Nick Saban talks about these things. People think they have a choice. You don't have a choice. It takes what it takes.
Yes.
That part.
It takes what it takes. And, you know, I find myself sending, you know, them little tidbits of things that because you can't think of this stuff all by yourself. It takes a village to raise kids, period. Yeah. But when you're raising kids who want to pursue professional athletics, I think reaching out to different people and taking things from different people who's coached great players and been around great staffs and things like that, sending them little excerpts of what they say and of what it takes to make it to where you want to go. And we never pushed our kids to do what they're doing. All we did was say, okay, if you're going to do this, you're going to do it.
Yes.
And we'll go broke trying to help you.
Yes.
But we're gonna give it to you full thing. But you're gonna have the sacrifice and the discipline and the courage and the respect to continue to do what you're doing. But when we see it ain't happening, we ain't funneling no more money.
Man.
Well, my question, like coming to Nicole, is that in you as the mother. And you as the mother, and it's sort of like the same difference with us too. I'm always out in front because I play the UK. I'm always the one that the reporters talk to. But the same thing is, what is your take on your two boys that you come up behind them? Because you're not that it's all right, it's okay kind of mom. It's like she's not. You're not that, oh, it's all right, it's okay. So
I
what is
do
your take?
that. Well, first and foremost, I just want them to be good people. You know, I just want them to be good people. I want them to follow Christ. And once you put, you know, God first, family first, everything else falls in line. So, you know, that's, yes, I am, you know, I'm there for when Devin and Dane have a you know, a bad game, but they're their worst critics. So I don't, sometimes they'll think they've had a shit game, and I'm asking Donte, you know, really, you know, was it? Because, you know, anyways, but yeah, I'm there for them when they're down, but it's, you know, I don't coddle them like he thinks I do. It's, you know,
Hey,
all right,
hey, here's the
tomorrow's
thing.
Oh, you got an A. You got an A.
Hey, she coddles Devin. Dane don't need coddling. He's something different.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I don't coddle either one of them, but you don't see all that Dane needs.
Well, I'm gonna
Because
be
he
honest.
knows I'll say. He knows what I'll say.
Yeah. So that's
But
why they'll call me.
Here's my perspective. I saw, or thought I saw, let me use that word, thought I saw more, I'm not gonna use the word coddling, I'm not gonna use it, of more mom nurturing towards Dane than I saw Devin. It's because I really felt like Dane needed more than Devin. Because in my perspective, because again, I'm on the outside, I'm not in there. When I saw Devin was more whatever. Dane was more, am I wrong? And he needed assurance of certain things. Am I wrong on that? Or right?
Here's one of the things I think you're talking about. See, I could jump Devin's stuff real good.
Yes.
And he would respond. I can't do that. I couldn't do that with Dane.
That's what I mean.
He goes the other way.
Yes. Yeah, because I know the times that I was around him and was fortunate to coach him very little, that I couldn't just tell him about himself. That's my nature to do as a coach. And you know, and it's the same thing with Ty. I couldn't tell Ty about himself. I had to be a little bit more acquisitive.
Yeah,
that's the
ask him, bring it out of him in question. Yeah, you're right. But here's here's one of the things that you asked me: what parents should stay out of your kids' way.
Yes,
stay out of your kids' way. You know what I mean? If they got coaches, let them coach them.
Yes,
let them coach them hard, because if they're wanting to get a scholarship, guess what?
They're going to get coached hard.
They're going to get coached hard.
Yes.
Because they know what the coaches know what the kid has, and we're trying to, as coaches, bring that out of them the best we can. Now, if they're getting demeaned and, you know, things like that, that's a different story.
That's a different
story. You got a coach that, it's just like a kid that I have. He's in college now, and he played for me at Douglas, and I would coach him hard. He was one of my inside linebackers. And I told his dad, I'm going to coach him hard. And if he don't like it, he comes on and tells you, and you don't tell me, give me feedback. I like that. But if you don't allow me to coach him hard, he's never going to get to where he should be. And I know where he should be because he's a great player.
Because what people don't understand when you say that, DK, when you say that, people don't understand. We've done it, and you gotta make some kids uncomfortable to get them comfortable.
Yeah,
And people don't
kids are
understand
too
that.
comfortable these days.
Yeah, they're way too. Ooh, trust me, we got a team.
Hey,
What did we both do at the same
thing,
time? What did we both do at the same time? Ooh.
Well, it's a double-edged sword, B. Tell you
I
the
love
truth.
it. I love Nicole. She just laughed. She know what we're talking about.
You know, it's a double-edged sword, Terry and Coach B, is that when you have parents that have succeeded in whatever realm that is, they want their kids to be in an area better than them, but quicker. So it makes them not earn things or appreciate the things that they are given as much as we did when we had to earn all our stuff to be able to give to our kids. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
So that lack of, hey, I earned this. It's no, it's given to me. My grandson. I mean, what do you say to, you know? He's like, no, let's just buy another one. No, it's not how it goes.
But hold on. Let me say this. I've said this to my beautiful wife, Terri, Coach Bryant. Miss Coach Bryant. I said, if you live where we lived, us four, there's a lot of us, our family members, that's never been to Manhattan. Monday through Friday. I've been to Manhattan. She's been to Manhattan. I'm pretty sure y'all been to Manhattan. You cannot explain Manhattan to somebody from Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Or Russell, Kentucky.
Yeah, you understand what I'm saying?
Flatwoods.
Are you
Yes,
kidding
you
right
can.
now?
And what I try to make, and I said to Terri, you can't talk about your past because they can't relate to it.
Mm.
Okay, and I say that to parents. Quit telling your kid about your past. They don't understand what you're talking about.
Nor do they care.
Oh, that's the word. Nor do they care. Nobody cares who Pete Rose is, Hank Aaron is.
Nobody cares as me as a coach be what I did. The kids don't care. How you gonna get me to where I want to be? You know
and that's one of the biggest things that if you come in my house, you don't see anything of me as an athlete. You see me as a coach because that's present.
Yeah.
You don't see anything. I never talk about me as an athlete, do I? Ever. Because these kids are looking at me like, come on, old man. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago. I wouldn't even thought of.
Hey, they couldn't have played when we played anyway, B.
Yes.
It's just two-hand touch these days.
But the difference is with Ty Bryant and Devin and Donte Key, the difference is we do install mentally, because the game is mental, that part in our child to understand that you have to play hard and fast. So that is old school.
I like that, Alvin.
I do too.
I hope that's what he did.
Mike Evans is cold. He said
Mike
that reminds him of Mike Evans from the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
He's cold.
That's a great compliment.
He's cold.
Great compliment.
Yeah. Hey, Kelly Collins, how about them Cowboys?
Oh, nobody. Oh my God.
Okay, here's the
no.
Game, though, dog.
Kelly, no more Cowboy conversations on this podcast. We're done with it.
I like this question.
How has the NIL transfer portal influenced Dane and Ty?
Oh, we let y'all answer.
Well, I can say with Dane, NIL was never the leading factor.
Absolutely.
He wants to play ball.
That's Ty.
And that's Ty.
That's Ty.
It's always been about, I just want to play ball.
just
You
want to
know,
get on.
that's
I want
just the NIL is just a cherry on top.
there on top. Absolutely.
And let me tell you why I think
Not
that's it.
everybody's like that. Not all kids.
Yeah, most of them.
Okay,
And that's the reason why
well,
we have a lot of people
but let me explain why
at
that is,
5
Nicole,
different schools.
and you can answer this if I'm wrong, because we have grounded as parents, and we have a pretty decent life for our child as they grew up. That's the reason why. And some of these kids' parents are still living in poverty. We've been blessed.
Right.
Okay. And I told somebody that the other day. I told a coach from Ohio that, not Ohio as in Ohio State or anybody, but I'm not gonna say. I said that's the difference that you gotta look at. Look at if that kid is still living in the projects. NIL makes a big difference to them.
For sure.
Because then they're
Yeah,
really having to,
I mean,
to change things for their family.
But I remember asking Ty, did y'all, this is a question for both of y'all. I asked Ty this his sophomore year at Frederick Douglass. What is your motivation? I said, when I hear kids talk, it was like, get my parents out of the projects, get my desk. That's why I love Ty's performance. I love Devin and Dane's performance, because they weren't in the projects. And that's why I'm so fond of your kids, because
they're still
their motivation was competition, right or wrong.
Well, see, here's the thing. I can say two things about the NIL situation with, and you're exactly right. When, like, when I was coming out and it was NIL stuff, that would be my motivation to.
That was my motivation.
That's the little money. NIL is little money compared to where you want to go and having a career in football. That's the money. Just like Coach Deion Sanders talks about. This is temporary. You want to get generational type of money, get to the next level. And I think that's the motivation that I think our boys have, and Ty too. He wants to be able to take care of himself for a long time,
and
not just a little while.
Well, you only have a short time period that you're going to earn that kind of money, and it needs to last you. You know,
in your
generations.
In generation, meaning and clarifying this is you have two beautiful grandkids. It's generation for them,
right?
And their child, and people don't realize that, and that's what makes it kind of frustrating, Coach Bryant.
But here's the thing, B, and it took her to really get this to me. Is a lot of us have it all backwards. Your parents are supposed to take care of you. You are not supposed to take care of your parents.
Yes.
And when that's something that people don't want to hear. But I get why us as, mainly young Black men, okay, we're going to take care of our parents regardless of what's going on. You know what I mean? But that doesn't mean our kids should have to.
Well, and I love how you said that, DK, is because Ty did something last year, and I got irritated for him for doing it. Because I was like, Ty, that's not your job.
That doesn't do anything wrong.
No, it's nothing wrong, but that's not your job. My job as a parent, regardless whatever and if you make it huge and you want to buy me something, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
But
it's on you to want to do that. I'm not going to ask you for it.
Yes. And that's what I'm getting at. Thank you, DK, because that is something like I do something for him. And I told Terri this. I said, he don't need nothing from me. And I try to find something to do for my child, because that's the way my mom raised me. You know, and I heard this saying on Facebook one time. If your dad dies, he's the only person that wants you to be better than him.
For real.
And if you're a real dad, that's what you want for your male son. Is I want my son and you want your two boys, your sons, to be way better than me. And then when I go to the pearly gates, I'm satisfied.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, I heard this guy. I watch a lot of inspirational stuff on TikTok. A lot of people get on to do some other stuff, but I find something about some people that I find motivational. This guy came on one other day, and he was like, you know, one of the craziest things that people never really talk about, or men when we're talking, and we have sons, is that we're raising something that we love with all of our heart and will do anything and die for to live without us.
Mm.
Mm.
You
We're
raising
raising them to not need us.
And then
Mhm.
it hurts when they
And
get
then
to that level.
They get to that point where they don't need us anymore.
Whoa! It hurts. Trust me, it hurts.
You know, have you ever heard? Has anybody ever said that to you? Like that stuff that
No.
shook me like a
Yeah.
lightning bolt, man. We raising our men, our boys,
To
to not need us anymore.
Wow. I will say this, and she's in Coach Bryant, Miss Coach Terri Bryant got a question. He lives in his place. I get someone to mow his lawn just so I can still do something for my child. He can pay the person to mow his lawn.
When Dane lived here, I'd go over and mow his. Well,
Yeah.
but I would go over and mow the grass just so I could see him.
Just so I can see him. Yes. Like I tell people all the time, Ty calls 5 to 7, 6 days a week. He does. He'll say, "Pops, I love you." He'll call me sometime during the day. And I don't see him as much.
Yeah.
And when you can relate to that. But he does call me, and he's a junior at University of Kentucky. He does call me at least, how many times? At least 5 to 6 times a week.
That's good.
He'll just call me just to say, "I love you." Because he knows I'm going, boy, you put a, you know, and then one time he went 4 days without calling me. I picked up the phone. Nope, not going to do it.
It goes both ways. You sound like this one.
Oh, when they don't call me for a couple of days, oh, you can't call your pops no more, huh? What? Oh, is that it? Is that right?
Call nobody.
Oh. You can't call nobody.
It goes both ways. Oh, you can't call me. You can call me either.
But you know, I think they talk to her every day in some type of way, which that's what I like.
It's okay.
I don't have to be in the picture just as long as you calling your mom. I'm
Yes.
good with it. Making sure your mom's all right. You ain't got pops is gonna be all right.
Pop's gonna be all right.
Gonna be all
Well,
right.
anybody that's tuning in, this is Nicole and Donte Key.
What kind of questions we got, Coach?
We got
Terri
questions
Brown?
coming up.
Yeah. Let me. I want to.
Well,
I do
hold
want to
on.
address
Let
this.
me
Go ahead,
make sure
Coach Bryant,
make
'cause
sure
I
the
wanna
people
address this
show
one.
up. We gotta know. And this is Dan Key, who plays at Nebraska, as former Frederick Douglass wide receiver and holder and punt returner and kickoff returner. And if I'm missing something, and DB too, he played free safety. People didn't realize that he did a lot of stuff. And his lovely wife Nicole, who deals with Donte, and I know that's rough.
It's rough.
Okay,
It is. I acknowledge that.
I do too.
I'm not easy to deal with.
Me either. Hold on, you got a point. I just said me. Go ahead, ask your question.
I want to make sure I address this comment that Mr. Brown has said. He said that y'all have known each other, and he said he's thankful to you and the late Roselle. He's talking about Hollingsworth for your help with his family, particularly his help with his son Adrian, who recently passed, and he wanted to say thank you.
I didn't know that. I'm sorry to hear that. Man.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I retired and I got out of the loop of a whole lot of stuff. And man, you know, I worked in the federal law enforcement for 2.5 decades.
Yeah.
And met some of the best people, some of the best families that had to go through some different situations with their sons, their grandsons, their husbands or wives. And it's been one of the most eye-opening things that I could have ever done. And I'm thankful I had to go through that and deal with those things, because it opened my eyes to some different things that and I'm just glad that I had the opportunity to kind of share, you know, whatever I had with people that I dealt with in those situations, good and bad. They always knew where they stood with me, and I was going to be open and honest with people, regardless of the outcome. And you know, one of the things that we started this when they were in, what was it, middle school, high
I don't know what we're
school?
talking about yet.
Oh, the 6 P's.
The
Okay,
6
she
P's.
put the 6 in there. Y'all heard of them before, right?
Yes.
Break them down.
She put prayer in her first.
Of course, it's one.
But it's proper prayer and preparation prevents poor performances.
Yeah.
And that's I heard it from Ray Lewis.
Oh yeah. That's always a great quote. But I love how you added the prayer in there.
You can put it through whatever situation that you're in, whatever facet of life that you're in, whether you're in business, whether you're in football, whether you're in communications, whatever. If you have those 6 P's, everything's going to work out. Have you prepared properly with some prayer so it'll prevent those poor performances?
That part. Yeah, that part.
I hope people are taking notes now, because this is.
Hey,
I used to charge for this shit.
I know. That's good stuff.
Well, first of all, you can't make any money. Nicole will make the money because she's the one that's feeding you this information.
She's a manager. I'm a hunter gatherer, brother.
I love it. Hey, I got a question. Let's go back in time. And no disrespect to the Denver Broncos, where your son is playing now. But
we did beat the 49ers in the preseason.
Easy. You just went personal. That's what I'm talking about. Purpose.
Hey, you talked about the Broncos.
Let's move on. We don't talk about the Niners. We know the Purples. All right. Okay. Thank you. See that guy right there, bringing up name. Okay. My question is, how did it feel, and where was you at? 2-part, 3-part question. When Dane had the opportunity to go play for the Kansas City Chiefs, and then you got on a plane and went to KC and watched him play for the Kansas City Chiefs. How did that feel for both of you?
Oh gosh, we were all here in the family, and it was just family. Yeah, that was. I don't know. I think we all cried.
Yeah,
just cried.
I bet.
Because the reason why I say that, because your baby is born, they start playing football. Your ultimate dream is to have an opportunity, even whatever it is, to have a chance to say, my son is in the NFL. Because people don't understand how small of a circle that is to have an opportunity to be in the NFL. No matter what you're doing.
What level, whether you're on the practice squad,
no matter your first team, third team,
it doesn't matter.
It is so many that doesn't get that. That's my question, and that's a great answer, Nicole.
There's really no words. Mm-hmm. You know, like Donte said a minute ago, you know, he didn't go to, I don't know how to properly say this, but you know, a big time football school.
Right.
Well, It was in Bowling Green, Kentucky. It's a big time football school.
That's what I was trying
A
to.
Power 5 school, Power 4 school.
Yeah. And he
Girl, we know what
just
you're talking about.
worked his
They
ass
comment.
off.
Yeah.
I mean, he just did. I mean, to get where he is right now, I'm not saying, Dane is working his butt off too, but I don't, Devin, I don't know. I don't, like I said, I don't even know how to put it in words, but for him to get that call on draft day was
From Andy Reid.
Yeah.
Andy Reid. Wow.
It was special.
Wow.
Does it get any better than that?
Well, it can get just as good if Dane gets a call next year.
Will.
And see, here's what people don't understand.
And I hope they're on the same team.
Oh,
That would
it's
be
not
great.
just getting to the league; it's staying in the league.
It's staying. And I said this to someone the other day. It's sort of like when you yelled across the campus to get Nicole's attention. It's easy to get her attention, but you did a blessing job of keeping her attention.
Oh, that was easy.
Whoa. Hey,
Okay.
I know the feeling because she tried the front. She tried the front on ours.
Did a cabbage patch on you, boy?
They silly.
Hey, no, it's and kids, we've been blessed. That's
Amen.
we put a lot of faith in God, even though I'm not gonna say that I'm the most holy person there is, but I'm a believer.
Right.
I've sinned just as much as anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
But he knows my heart. I think it's in them too. And if you can just continuously remind them that none of this is possible without the man upstairs, and they get it, they have a chance.
They have a chance.
They have a chance. You know what I mean? Because sometimes we get another thing you was talking about, B, and I'm skipping, but
you're okay. You're okay.
It's a passion of mine because us as coaches and kids that show some athleticism and they show that they really enjoy, whatever it is, the sport or mathematics or teaching or whatever it is. Sometimes you got to let them go and let somebody else give them what they got too, because your perspective is not always good perspective for them.
Yeah.
I think the hardest thing to do is to coach your own kid.
What the thing
hey, Terry, here's the thing. I didn't coach either one of mine.
Yeah.
They were on the teams that I coached with.
Yeah. But you let somebody else coach them.
Well, I said this, DK. I said this the other day. Ty's football career, it was handpicked. It really was. Because if you think about it, when people didn't realize this with Ty, when I saw Marty Parks coach and I was officiating, I loved the way he coached. Mm-hmm. And I told him, now this is a true statement, he'll tell you. I said to him, if I ever have a child and it's a boy, he's going to play for you if you're still coaching.
Love Marty
6
Parks.
years later, Ty was born.
Yeah.
That's how far away that was. People don't realize. Marty will tell you that.
Good man.
And then all of a sudden, what happened was years went by. I'm officiating. He never said a word. And all of a sudden, Ty shows up. Marty says to me, if he didn't show up, I was going to tell you about yourself. I was like, wow, you remember that? He said, yes. Yeah. And then his next coach was J.T. Haskin. His next coach was Marty Moore. His next coach was Sterling Ward.
Yeah. People who know the game. And it ain't about winning when you're trying to teach them the game.
Teach them the game. And the greatest thing you can understand, we've been in, our kids were both blessed to play football and baseball. Some coaches in baseball, I stayed the whole practice. I did not have to stay with them.
Yeah.
I can go to the store. I can go to the mall. I can do other stuff. And am I correct on that? With your baby?
Because you knew they were going to get coached, and whatever he said, it was going to be out of love and getting that your son to where he wants to be, not where you want him to be, but where he's saying that he wants to be.
Yes. And,
and those guys would do that.
Yes. And one of the coaches that had a major impact in Ty Bryant's life was actually Carlos Best, basketball.
What?
Yes. I will never forget the time Ty came into the room, and he's been very blessed by coaches that understand my point. Ty gets in, he said, "Pops, I'm tired." I said, y'all was acting up? And he said, "No, I wouldn't shoot, and every time I didn't shoot, I had to run." So what he was teaching Ty is to play the game to the maximum that your ability. Doesn't matter if it's football, basketball, baseball. That's a coach teaching him how to play the game.
Yeah.
And that's always been a blessing. And you can relate
on the field now. I was listening to we was before Dane's game last week. You know, I was watching some of the UK stuff, and they said, man, it's unbelievable how his mental aspect of the game. He understands the game. That didn't start when he got to UK.
No, it didn't start with Federal Douglas.
Yeah, it kind of did.
No, it did.
No,
that's right. You coached it.
Hey, we ran some complicated schemes at Douglas, man, that he understood. And you know, that's a credit to how many kids that we have in major D1 colleges and NAIA schools. We got kids, man, that have just gone and blossomed. Look at the Neal kid over at Georgetown. He's killing it as a running back.
Yes.
Then you look at his brother at Virginia.
Killing at Virginia.
I mean, you look at Jagger, you look at Walker Parks, you look at we got just so many kids out there doing some great things, some kids at center.
Yes. And the whole key, people don't understand, it doesn't matter what your school you're going to. And like Coach Mr. Brown said, chops at Purdue. You know,
two at Purdue.
D'Amico's at Purdue.
D'Amico's at Purdue.
Too.
Yeah, I mean, just a lot of stuff going on.
And then we got like 3 at Ball State.
Yes, but I got a question
for 3 at Ball State.
I got a question for Nicole. And guys, this is what normally happens when we're about to close our show. Okay, this is hits.
You took over the podcast tonight.
Oh no, she takes over the podcast. I'm just here. And he tried to get me, Nicole. See, that's why you and I right here, and him and I are still right here. All right. But my question is, when this is all said and done, my question to you, Nicole, what is the most disappointing moment you had watching your kids? Good question. And what is the most powerful moment you remember watching your boys as where they're at right now? You see, D Key gave you a hug.
Devin was at Station. It was an away game. Do you remember? I can't remember who we played. Playoffs. And I kept trying to, he was playing either offense or defense, and I kept wanting him to play. And he went in and just
it was a playoff.
But it
was the playoff game we played up at North Hardin, some Hardin school, and we had a great team. That's when we had CJ Walker and all them guys. And we lost on that Hail Mary.
Yes.
If we would have
I'm gonna put this out here. And I walked over and I said, we need to be in this defense. Well, I did say that.
Yeah, but I think we should have put Devin in on offense a little bit sooner, and we would have ran away with that game. I think that's what she's talking about.
I don't even remember obviously all the details. I just remember fourth quarter, last few minutes, I'm crying just watching my kid play with all the heart he had.
Mm-hmm.
It just was. And then disappointing is usually when they're out there acting a fool, throwing a helmet or something stupid. Dane was absolutely when he was making acting a fool on a field.
Look, let me tell you something about her and Dane. Dane knows that if he just keeps talking, she'll just keep talking back at him, and he loves it. He wants her to get agitated, and I'm like, just stop talking to him because he loves that.
Oh, he'll call me if he's in a mood,
and just want to argue with her, want to get her to argue
you're
with
You're looking for a fight. I'm not in the mood tonight. I'll let you go to bed. You just need some sleep. Dana is somebody who needs sleep. Those kids that always needed naps, Dana's still one of them.
Yeah.
But that's Ty.
Yeah.
He loves to take naps. He loves to sleep.
So you mean to tell me that didn't he just break up? Didn't Devin just help the Broncos beat the
undefeated Philadelphia Eagles?
Hey,
this past
Sunday,
that wasn't the best.
You know, he learned that from his DB coach at Bryant Station, Coach Bryant. Hey, let me do this. In her show, if you haven't watched it, I usually walk away because this is hits and heels. I appreciate my wife for allowing me to.
Are you the heels or the hits?
I'm neither. I'm just here. I am just there. But guys, I really mean this with love. You know, I love y'all both. DK, you my dog. You know that. But thank y'all for being patient and coming on the show. We learned a lot.
And I hope that, and you guys, I think you guys helped a lot of families too, because this thing is not easy. It's not easy. I think that was one of the reasons why.
But the problem is they make it look easy. That's the problem. You make it look easy. Guys.
He does. I give her a lot of credit. I give her a lot of stuff, but I give her a lot of credit because she handles the boys and everything that they got going on. And, you know, both of them got girlfriends now. When you throw girlfriends in there, I really believe in it because it keeps them very, especially when they got good girls. Mm-hmm. And yes. I think, you know, both of our boys got really solid girlfriends.
Now, here's the thing is I said this to her the other day. I said, because I'm a better person, and I mean this, no disrespect to anything or anybody because of her. I am. Because a lot of times I don't see the vision, and she'll go, blah, 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 and I go, ain't nobody listening to you. And then all of a sudden I go, dang, that makes sense. You know, because there's certain things that we're tunnel vision with, and we're human. Because, you know, only Jesus walked on water. I don't walk on water. So I can understand that certain things I don't understand, and it's always very nice to have someone that's here but not here. There's a difference between here but pounding on you. They're totally different. So with that said is, I'm a girl, walk away, but DK, you know you're my boy. I love you. You
much
know
love, dog. Much love.
And she will close the show, and I always do it this way because it is hits and heels, and I'm not hits or heels. All right, I just want to
Terri, don't let him be walking around in your stuff now.
See, I thought I should have just left 5 minutes ago. Love y'all both.
All right, love you too, big dog. Since you walking away, I'm gonna walk away. Oh. Thanks, Terri.
Thank you.
And then there were two.
And now there was two. And now there was two. I think a lot of people just don't understand. I know for me, what made our journey easy was the fact that I love sports. And when we got together, I was already coaching. So it wasn't something that I had to kind of just adapt to. were you already a sports nut when you got with Donte? Were you already in love with watching football and watching sports and being
Oh,
around the sports, or was it something that you had to get
no,
used to?
no, I definitely like sports. Yeah, beforehand. So that's no.
So
So
that
we
made all the
were,
difference in the world and
yeah.
made
When we
made
had
things so much
kids, we were
easier.
both all in. So
Hmm.
yeah, I do think that helps. Now I
Oh,
have
absolutely.
uh, Devin's girlfriend, well, soon to be wife, but she grew up with sisters and all girls in her family, so she has had to learn. But she likes sports, so it's all. So I think either way, and she's getting her, their boys involved in sports. So I think it can happen either way. But yeah, I was on board from day one.
I think that makes a difference because I've met people that didn't didn't like sports, and then it becomes a problem, especially when you're coaching. They're gone all the time, and you have
Oh
to be
yeah.
very understanding, of their time, especially
Hmm.
when they're coaching high school. When he stepped down to middle school, he fell in love with it because it's not as much time as it was for high
Yeah.
school. He didn't think he would like it, but he ended up liking it. And because I thought that once Ty left and went to UK, I thought he would go back to high school. And
Okay.
I was shocked that he did it, that he still loved coaching high school. So this has been our most challenging year. But and I don't know, it's probably because he made me an offensive coordinator. So I don't, and I think that everybody, and I think I'm gonna tell you what it is. I'm gonna
I
say it
would
right
say
here
I'm
on
not
my
at your
show.
level. I'm not
On
out
my
here
show.
coaching. That's for
Because
sure.
I'm the offensive coordinator. Nobody else does. None of the male coaches are watching any other film except mine because they don't want to get beat by a female.
Well, of course. I mean, that should be of no shock to you.
And so I feel like that's what it is.
That's what it is.
Oh, I know that's exactly what it is. Oh yeah. But I'm cool with that, and I think it's fun. So I have one of my videos that Lavelle Martin had did for me on my
Oh, he's good.
yes,
I
that
like
he did for
Lavelle.
me on our first game, and it went viral. And I don't know how many guys have gone on there just with the negativity. And
Oh,
I'm like, how hard? Why can't you just keep scrolling? And and if you don't like appreciate the fact that I'm a female, that I'm an offensive coordinator, or that I'm even coaching football, period, what does it matter? Why couldn't you just keep scrolling and just keep it moving?
that's the thing with social media. Everybody.
Social media. And I think that that's one of the hardest parts with social media is and I know you went through this with Dane, is
Hmm.
staying off of social media.
I can't
With
hardly
your
get on
kids.
there.
You cannot go on there. I mean, I remember a guy on I think it was on Twitter, um, Ty's first freshman year, and a guy went on there and was like, I don't know why Stoops would recruit players like Ty Bryant. And then two games later, he was co-SEC Freshman Player of the Week.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know why they do those
Yeah,
things.
so it was just So it was just
And then usually, if you look, they've never played a sport in their
never
life.
played a sport, don't have a
Oh,
clue.
if
They're
they
couch
were saying stuff
coaches.
about
I call
me,
them couch coaches.
yes. But you say stuff about me all you want, but
But
don't talk about my
don't talk
kids.
about my kid.
Hmm.
No, no, no. So we've been lucky where um I'm trying to think if somebody said something about I think somebody might have mentioned something about Dane one time, and we almost got into it in the stands, because we don't play about none, neither one of our babies, because we treat Dane is still like a son to us too. Again, we call him our nephew. So we
Same.
don't play about none of them,
Uh-huh.
and I think people have learned who we are, and they learn to keep their mouth shut when they see us around, because I'm not getting ready to play with nobody about our kids, right? But I'm so proud of them. I was so excited about that. I'm not gonna lie, I really was excited about that play that Devin made on Sunday to help the
No, I
Broncos. And I
know.
thought that was just so absolutely exciting. And I know earlier because we have a bye week this week, we had thought about going to Dane's game this week, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm exhausted because we done went back to back away games. Went to South Carolina, then we went to Georgia and took 2 beatings, and I'm exhausted. And then we just took a beating today with our team, and so I'm exhausted. But we was gonna try to sneak up over there to catch
No,
him
you
live,
need to leave them your poop.
just so that we can support him and let him know that we still love him and we still support him. So make sure you give him a big hug from me. Now, before we go, I do want to ask, what has been the biggest challenge outside of the social media?
I was gonna say that would have been
'Cause
first.
that's probably the
My
big,
yeah, that it really is because
yeah.
people
Because
jump on
people act
there
like
and
that they have they have the audacity, or they can hide behind, you know,
a keyboard.
a keyboard or their
Mhm.
phone or whatever, and there's not going to be any consequences for their actions. Because I know people, you be careful. For me, if somebody comes for me, I'm wide-eyed private, I'm gonna look you up and I'm gonna show up at your doorstep and then ask you to say what you got to say to me.
That's when I finally got off social media, was when I was wanting to post my address for people. If you got something to say,
Come on.
I'm saying it. I thought, no, that's probably
Yeah,
not
let
a
me
good
go and get off.
idea. But the most challenging, I don't know. We just kind of roll with it. Trying to keep them on just a positive, and I don't
And the
really, it's
mental
not
part
really
of it, like,
challenging. It's just you do what you got to do.
yeah. So how do you monitor their mental health? Like how do you know if, okay, I need to get my hands on him because mentally I can
Yeah.
tell my baby is struggling.
Well, I don't know if it's necessarily struggling, but I know when he first went to Nebraska, I was, he was away from home for the first time, and I was like, I've got to get there.
Yeah.
He needs to see if he needs family, and
Mhm.
I can go. So that was, I jump on a plane and go
Mhm.
down and visit him. It's just kind of, you can talk
Know
when you
your
talk
baby.
to your kid, you can tell where they're at. I just think you know your kids. I mean, if you are paying attention,
Mhm.
and in tune with them, then you can tell, and you just be there for them and try to get them through it. It's the same as like when if they don't have a good game, you
Yeah.
know, your kid, obviously if they didn't do it on purpose,
Right.
everybody has a bad day. You just, you just there, you're just there with them. You with them through it. So
Yeah, this was good. Does Devin give Dane NFL pointers, particularly regarding coverage from backwards? Do you know? Yeah.
yeah, they'll work off season. They'll actually work out because with Devin being safety and Devin
Yeah.
wide receiver, or Dane
Mhm.
wide receiver, they
They're able
yeah,
to help each other.
they'll go work out together, and yeah, definitely.
That's good. That's definitely an advantage that they have that maybe other people don't really have. I want to make sure I address everybody that
Well, and
asked.
back
Kelly
to
Collins.
like when know whether you need them, they do that to each other too. They're 6 years apart, but they're tight.
Mm.
So when Dane, all these D's, when Dane was trying to decide whether to go in the portal or not, we all had to fly out to Denver and have a family meeting with Devin because, that's just, they bounce things off
Mhm.
each other all the time. So,
Gotcha. Okay. And so, is there anything that you ever wanted to say out loud that you've never had an opportunity to say?
Oh, there's a lot that goes on just in my head. So, and I probably shouldn't say it now. So I'm not going to.
Okay.
But yeah,
Yeah.
there's always things that, yeah.
I mean, I just think that people have forgotten that these are kids.
Yeah. And yeah, I guess they may be,
Yeah, they're they're in their 20s or whatever, but they're
Yeah.
still babies, and I just, and they're still somebody's son, and they're still, somebody's uncle or cousin or family member or whatever like that. And I just think that we've gotten away from the whole treat people like you want to be treated, and that it's just entertainment or it's just a game. As much as we want to take it seriously, we want to win, of course, but sometimes it just doesn't work like that. I think the biggest thing for me that I've seen, especially being a female coach, is I get to see a different perspective because I had to learn a game because I didn't have the opportunity to play it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just so difficult looking at it from the coach's perspective because now I kind of see just both perspectives. Mr. Brown said, he great response. He said, great response. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's always some stuff that we would like to say that and don't want to say, but just getting it from a different perspective, from a female point of view as a coach, and then seeing it from and then and then I don't think I ever even addressed being a coach's wife.
Well,
that's a whole we could probably have a whole nother hour conversation about just being a coach's wife and what our husbands go through as coaches and dealing with that.
Well, then you got the coach's wife who the coach coaches your kid. That was a whole family feud sometimes after games when I didn't agree with the coach.
Mm-hmm.
Devin, Dane didn't want to ride home with the coach. At home with mom. Oh yeah, there's a lot to that. Well, and then when Dane took his first steps on a field, because Donte was coaching Devin, and so if Dane and I wanted to see Devin and Donte, we had to go to the field. Yeah, so wherever we did everything as a family. We were just, Dane and I were there on the sidelines, and Dane was learning stuff, from time he could walk. So, that's another reason that.
And I think that that's paid off.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that when you're literally have grown up on the field, how do you not become as great as they are? I'm telling you right now, I hope they show up. I hope they're at the same team, so y'all not having to split games and go back and forth and
cover the other.
Ty gets the opportunity to go to the next level, and he's on the team with one of them or both of them. I mean, that would be like the ultimate dream for me.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. Well, Terri, I appreciate you having us.
I appreciate you having me. I'm gonna let you go because I got to get up early in the morning. And Mr. Brown said, in this age of so much, you have kids that are obedient, young adults, and you guys should be commended. Absolutely, because all three of them are absolutely great human beings.
Yeah,
they're great young men, and I'm so excited for the future of the three of them. Again, thank you both for coming on, helping us with the blueprint. I hope some families watch this or watch the replay and get some pointers on what it really takes to get your kid to the next level. And I think the biggest thing is, like you said, it's got to be a family, and the whole family has to be all in on that. I don't think we even talk about the fact that we've only had one real vacation in the last 16 years because of the fact that everything is all about sports or his game. So our vacations and stuff, like you said, we're out of town and all that, but no, we were going to support him on his games, and all our vacations was centered around a baseball tournament or a football tournament or something like that. And I think a lot of people, you know, we just had a fall break this past week, and we had a lot of kids that were missing, you know, and I think that was kind of part of the reason why we had a hard time today, because yesterday was a rain day, and so we couldn't practice yesterday. And you could just tell, because had been missing so many kids over the break because they wanted to go on vacation. Well, we never went on vacation during the breaks or spring break or a summer break, or we never did all that because the boys had to practice, and Ty couldn't miss practice. So that's part of it that a lot of parents don't have. It's a sacrifice. And I think that's the sacrifice that a lot of families, you know, aren't willing to make. But if you want your kid to get to the next level, those are some of the sacrifices that have to be made. So Nicole, Donte, thank you both for coming on. I appreciate you all taking the time out for this hour and 30 minutes. I didn't mean to hold you this long. To help families and just to tell a little bit of y'all's story, because it's absolutely fantastic. So those of you, please, if you're a Denver Broncos fan, Devin Key plays for the Denver Broncos, and look out for the NFL draft in this spring, and we're going to be rooting for Donte Key when his name gets entered, and I can't wait I'm gonna buy both of their jerseys. I can't wait.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Well, don't I'm in the live stream, but don't log off.
Okay.
I make sure I answered everybody's question. Mr. Brown, thank you for coming on and asking absolutely fantastic, great questions and having great engagement. All right, y'all. We'll see y'all next week.